If you hate driving at night now, you are not imagining it. Something has changed, and it is not your eyes. In the last few years, headlights have become so bright that people with perfect vision started saying the same thing: they cannot drive at night anymore. The roads are the same. Your eyes are the same. But oncoming headlights hit different, more intense, more white, more blue, more blinding. And here is the part that should worry you. This is not a mistake, it is a decision. A 30-year-old woman posted online saying she thought her eyesight was failing. Hundreds of people instantly agreed with her. But when she went to get her eyes checked, the doctors told her nothing was wrong. The problem was not her vision, it was the cars. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. How a law written decades ago, a safety rating system, and a massive shift in the auto industry all combined to create the blinding lights you deal with every night. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. Let's start with one number: 1,000 lumens. That is how bright a traditional halogen headlight is. Warm yellowish light that has been on American roads since the 1970s. Cheap to buy, easy to replace, a $12 bulb from any auto parts store. You could swap it yourself in a parking lot in under 10 minutes. Now look at the headlights on a brand new F-150, a new Silverado, a Tesla Model Y, a BMW SUV. Those factory LED systems pump out between 3,000 and 4,000 lumens. Some aftermarket kits go past 10,000 lumens. That is 4 to 10 times brighter than the system that lit American roads just fine for 50 years. The switchover happened fast. LED lights showed up on luxury cars in the early 2000s. By 2015, they were standard on mid-range trucks and SUVs. By 2022, the majority of new vehicles sold in America had LED headlights. And with each new model year, the lights got more intense, more focused, and more punishing to anyone coming the other direction. But here is the thing the car brochures never mention. LED light works completely differently from halogen light. A halogen bulb spreads light in all directions, and it fades gently. An LED? It fires a tight, focused beam, more like a spotlight than a bulb. The human eye does not react the same way to both. But the real difference is this. Modern headlights have a hard edge, a sharp cutoff between light and darkness. When that edge hits your eyes, it feels aggressive, jarring, almost like a flash. Here is what that means in practice. Even a perfectly aimed LED headlight at a completely legal brightness level will cause more real-world glare than a halogen at the same technical output. The two technologies are not the same, but the law that governs them treats them like they are. The federal rule that controls headlight brightness in America is called Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard Number 108. Every car sold in the United States has to meet it. Here is the number that tells you everything you need to know: 1968. That is when the rule was written. It has not been meaningfully updated since 1986, back when a halogen bulb was the most powerful headlight technology that existed, and brightness was naturally limited by what the bulb itself could physically produce. Then LED technology arrived, and nobody updated the standard. The old rule measures headlight compliance at specific test points, specific angles, and specific zones on the beam, and it caps brightness at those exact spots. But it puts no overall ceiling on total light output, no maximum lumens, no limit on how bright the beam can be everywhere the test does not look. Automakers figured this out quickly. If you carefully shade the exact zones that the 1968 test measures, you can make a headlight that passes the test while pushing dramatically more light into the rest of the beam. You are not breaking the law. You are designing around a test written for technology that does not exist anymore. But the loophole alone does not explain why every single automaker raced to make their lights as bright as possible. For that, you need to understand the IIHS. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety is the most powerful vehicle safety organization in America. When you walk into a dealership and see a sticker that says Top Safety Pick Plus, that came from the IIHS. Millions of American buyers use those ratings to decide what to purchase. In 2016, the IIHS started grading headlights as part of its safety evaluation. The test works like this. Engineers take a car out on a track and measure how far ahead the headlights illuminate the road. The further the beam reaches, the higher the score. The higher the score, the better the safety rating. The better the safety rating, the more cars the manufacturer sells. So every automaker did the same thing. Between 2016 and 2021, manufacturers made mid-year design changes to nearly 200 different headlight systems specifically to chase higher IIHS scores. One manufacturer, Genesis, ran a free nationwide service campaign to go back and adjust headlights on cars that had already been sold, just so those vehicles could qualify for the Top Safety Pick Plus award. The IIHS itself said its ratings had become, in their own words, a huge motivator for automakers to improve their headlights, but improve for whom? The IIHS test measures how far ahead the driver inside the car can see. That is the only perspective measured. Nobody sits in an oncoming vehicle and measures how blinded that driver becomes. Nobody measures the pedestrian standing at the crosswalk. The test is designed entirely from the viewpoint of one driver, and every automaker optimized for that one driver at the expense of every single other person sharing the road. You are being blinded so that someone else can score higher on a safety test. The glare itself is not even the most dangerous part. Here is what nobody is talking about. Headlights are now so bright that a blinking turn signal on an oncoming car is completely invisible behind them. Think about that. The turn signal is the main tool a driver has to tell everyone around them what they are about to do, and that signal is being completely washed out by the headlights of the car behind it. Drivers cannot see that the car ahead of them is turning. There is no regulation that accounts for this. No safety rating that tests for it. Nobody is measuring it at all. The height problem makes everything worse. Most vehicles today are trucks and sport utility vehicles. Their headlights sit higher, often directly at eye level. Now imagine this. You are in a sedan. A truck comes toward you. Its lights are perfectly legal, perfectly aimed, and still they hit you straight in the eyes. Every pothole, every bump in the road, every time the driver brakes or accelerates, that beam sweeps upward and directly into the windshield of whoever is coming the other direction. For older drivers, for people with astigmatism, for anyone whose eyes take a few extra seconds to recover after a bright flash, the danger multiplies. Glare does not just cause discomfort, it slows your reaction time, kills your ability to see contrast, and can make a pedestrian in a crosswalk completely disappear during the exact seconds you need to brake. Here's the number that should be on the front page of every newspaper in America. Nighttime pedestrian deaths have nearly doubled since 2010. That is the exact same period when LED headlights went from rare to standard on every new vehicle on the road. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the federal agency responsible for protecting you from exactly this kind of danger, receives more consumer complaints about headlights than about any other automotive topic. The last time the federal government formally investigated headlamp glare was 2003. That was before a single LED headlight existed on an American road. That investigation has never been reopened. Here's the part the car companies and the safety organizations hope you never connect. A halogen headlight bulb costs $12. Twist it in yourself in a parking lot and drive home. No dealership, no diagnostic scanner, no $150 labor charge. Any person with two hands can do it. Modern headlights aren't bulbs, they are sealed modules. One single integrated unit that contains the LED array, the optics, the circuitry, and on many vehicles, the camera and leveling sensors too. When something fails, you don't fix it. You replace the whole unit. On a mainstream everyday vehicle, that repair runs $200 to $500 per side. On luxury vehicles with adaptive LED systems, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Lexus, the module alone can cost $1,500 per side. Then add calibration. Then add the dealer-only software required to re-aim the beam after installation. The shift from halogen to LED did not just make your headlights brighter, it eliminated your ability to fix them yourself. It moved your repair relationship from the auto parts store to the dealership service bay, and it turned a $12 annual maintenance item into a $1,500 dealer-only module that requires a computer to install. The auto industry spent $200 million lobbying Washington between 2017 and 2024. FMVSS 108 has not been updated for LED technology. The last federal investigation into glare was in 2003. In July 2025, Congress passed an amendment to study the problem, not fix it, not set a deadline, study it. So what can you do as a smart driver? Number 1, the shadow test. Try this tonight. Park facing a wall, turn your lights on, have another car pull up behind you. If you see your car's shadow in front of you, that shows how big the difference is. That shadow is the visual proof of how dramatic the brightness gap has become. It costs nothing. It takes 30 seconds. Number 2, yellow-tinted night driving glasses. This is not a gimmick. The yellow tint filters the specific blue wavelength that makes LED headlights so piercing and hard on the eyes without significantly cutting your overall visibility. A decent pair runs $15 to $40 online or at any truck stop. Number 3, your rear view mirror night mode. Every car has it. Almost nobody uses it. There is a small tab under your mirror. Flip it down. That is it. It instantly cuts the glare from headlights behind you. It takes 1 second and it makes a huge difference. Most drivers have had it for years and never used it once. Start using it every night. Number 4, choose a vehicle built before 2015 if you are buying a used car. Most of them use simple halogen headlights, not the expensive LED systems used today. That means cheaper repairs, easier fixes, and no $1,500 replacements. Models from 2010 to 2014